Fatiha. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد سيد الأولين والآخرين. مدد يا رسول مدد يا سادة الصحابة مدد يا مشايخ الدستور ولا شاء الله فاز أحسن شيخ محمد مدد طريقتنا والصحبة والخير في الجمعية. Allah her şeye hamd senalar olsun.
We are thankful to Allah Almighty for everything.
Bize bu güzel günleri gösterir.
He Almighty Allah lets us experience these beautiful days.
Her güzel yevmel cedid, rızkun cedid derdi Şeyh Baban Şeyh Nazım Hazretleri.
And Mawlana Shaykh Nazim always used to say, Yawmun Jadid, Rizqun Jadid.
Her nefes aldığımız için şükredeceğiz.
We are thankful for every day, for every breath we take.
Allah Azze ve Celle'nin yolunda olduğumuz için.
And we are thankful for every moment Allah Almighty enabled us to follow His way.
Şükredeceğiz.
And that is what we are thankful for.
Bundan daha büyük bir nimet yok.
There could be no greater blessing or favor than following the way of Allah Almighty.
İnsanlar farkında değil.
However, people are unaware of this gift.
Nimet, Allah'ın verdiği nimetlerin farkında değil.
People generally are unaware of the favors of Allah Almighty.
Lüzumsuz şeylere üzülürler.
And people sadden themselves because of useless things.
Yaramaz şeylere kahrolurlar.
People worry about things that have no importance.
Her şey Allah Azze ve Celle'nin verdiği nimetler, hepsi Allah Azze ve Celle'nin nimetleridir.
All favors we experience are favors given to us by Allah Almighty.
Onun için bu iman varsa her şeyden üstündür.
And the greatest favor of all is faith. If you have iman, if you have faith, then you have received the blessing and the favor that is superior to anything else.
Onu başka dert yapmaya gerek yok.
And if you have that favor of faith, if you believe, then you have been favored with the greatest gift of all, and then you do not need to be worried about anything else anymore.
Her zamanın dünya yaratıldığı aralarda imtihan olarak var.
Since this world has been created, this world has always been a place of test, and the reason why this world has been created is to test us.
İmtihan Allah Azze ve Celle'nin rızasını, Allah'tan razı olmanızdır imtihan.
And what are we being tested for? We are being tested for to reach the state of being satisfied and pleased with our Lord Allah Almighty.
İnsanlar Allah muhafaza etsin. Biz hayattan bezmişiz. Bazıları canına kıyar, bazıları şey yapar.
May Allah Almighty protect. There are some people, however, who say things such as, we're tired of this life, and they give up everything and commit suicide.
Zanneder ki kurtulur.
And they think that by doing so, by committing suicide, they're saving themselves, and they think they're...
Yok. Kurtuluş ancak
No, that is not the way of salvation.
Allah Azze ve Celle'nin verdiği şeylere şükretmekle.
Salvation is only to be achieved by being thankful for what Allah Almighty has given to you.
Razı olmakla.
Salvation is only to be achieved by being pleased with what Allah Almighty gave you.
Allah verdiği şeylere razı olursan Allah da senden razı olur.
If you are satisfied with what Allah Almighty gave to you, then Allah Almighty will be pleased with you.
Yok. Razı olmasan o vakit sıkıntı gene sanadır.
However, if you are not satisfied with what Allah Almighty gave to you, then you will be in a state of distress,
Gene eziyet sanadır,
and you will be in a state of suffering,
kötülük sanadır.
and you will be in a state where you will experience badness.
Onun için en mühim şey Allah Azze ve Celle'nin verdiğine razı olmaktır.
Therefore, the most important thing is to be satisfied and pleased with what Allah Almighty gave you.
Allah o kanaat sahibi olup da şükür sahibi olmak nasip etsin hepimize inşallah.
May Allah Almighty grant us all that gift of gratitude and thankfulness, and may Allah Almighty make us all to be those who are grateful and thankful and content with what they have been given.
Allah nefsimize uydurmasın.
May Allah Almighty protect us from following our egos.
Tefekkür sağa hayrun ibad 1000 sene, hayrun ibad 100 sene diyor Peygamber. Bir saat tefekkür etmek 100 sene ibadet etmekten daha hayırlıdır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says to contemplate for 1 hour, to think things through for 1 hour, is more valuable than 100 years of worship.
100 sene ibadet edersin, bütün vakit itiraz edersin.
You may worship for 100 years, but you may be in a state where you do not surrender, or may be in a state where you still protest.
Ama bir saat düşünüp de tefekkür edersen nedir, nasıldır bu hikmetler falan dersen, o hikmetini anlarsan o vakit bütün hayat boyunca 100 seneden daha güzel ibadete nail olmuş olursun.
However, if you contemplate, if you think things through, if you look for the wisdom behind the things, and then if you understand and realize why things happen the way they happen, and if you then are satisfied and pleased, then you have reached a state where your worship will be more valuable than 100 years.
Allah hepimizi bu razı olanlardan eylesin inşallah.
May Allah Almighty make us become those who are pleased and satisfied with their Lord, and those make us, Allah Almighty, become those whom Allah Almighty is pleased with.
Mübarek Cuma günü hürmetine.
For the sake of this sacred Jummah.
Allah.